Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Lando from the Snap coming at you with the top 10 defenses for championship week. First of all, congrats for making it to the finals. It's been a long, hard road, and I'm going to go through the top 10 defense rankings for this week, the week that means the most. At the end, I've got my top 3 risky plays, so the teams that did not make the list, but I think they could be a start, regardless of my rankings. So make sure to like this video. Comment down below. I respond to every single comment. So get me in the comments. And if you have a tough defensive start or a flex play, let me know. I'll try to give you the best advice I can to win that fantasy title. All right, let's start with my number 10 defense. That is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders versus Indianapolis. And they're at Indianapolis this week. As of right now, we don't know if Michael Pittman is back. But I do think the Raiders are a pretty solid play. They had a great game this past week against Kansas City, and obviously a phenomenal game against the LA Chargers the week before. They could be a bit of a trap play here. That's my only concern. After a big riding high moment against the Chiefs, they could be in a letdown spot against Indianapolis. But it's hard to go away from a defense that's played so well, and I think the Colts are a little bit banged up and struggling so far, so I think they're a decent start. My number 9 defense is going to be Chicago versus Atlanta. So they're probably also widely available. I don't know if they were picked up in 10 leagues last week, so you could absolutely start the Chicago Bears and pick them off waivers. The Atlanta Falcons have struggled to score, struggled to do much at all. So I do think that the Chicago Bears and their defense, after winning this past week as well, are a very solid start. My number 8 defense is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Carolina Panthers. So Jacksonville has been okay. Their defense isn't great. Their pass rush is okay, but you want to target an offense that hasn't been playing well, and that is the Carolina Panthers to a T. They're likely not going to score a ton of points, and I think the Jags are going to be good enough to stop Bryce Young and company. My number 7 defense is going to be Kansas City versus Cincinnati. Now, Kansas City's coming off a terrible loss. They're going to come to play. They're going to shut down the Bengals, and it's not going to be great for Jake Browning and company. I can imagine that T. Higgins is going to be shut down by Snead in this game. So I do really like the Chiefs this game, and they need to win. They're in a must win. They need to bounce back, especially. My number 6 defense is going to be the New York Jets at Cleveland. This is the risky play. They play on Thursday. They might be available. This is basically, we know they're an elite defense, and Joe Flacco can throw interceptions. Despite the huge game from Amari Cooper this past week, I think the Jets are in a very fine spot. This is a risky play as well. I don't know if I would have a ton of confidence with this, but I do think that they could hit a big number, like a 15 to 20 fantasy points, if things go right. My number 5 defense is going to be Philadelphia versus Arizona. Now, Philadelphia has been hot or cold. They've really been giving up a lot to the receivers, but we do like to target Kyler Murray and company. So he gives up big sacks, throws interceptions. I think Philadelphia is in a big spot. They need to win, and I really like the Eagles this game. And their defense, they have to get back on track. Come on, they need to get back to the quarterback, and I think that they can against Arizona. My number 4 defense is going to be the Denver Broncos versus the Chargers. So Denver has been solid this year, and I do want to target Easton Stick and company. And everyone's banged up for the Chargers. They don't have much to play for. And really, they're playing for a top pick right now. So Denver Broncos are a good start. I think they need to win. And this is where playoff pictures and everything comes into effect. And I think the Broncos shut down the Chargers this week. My number 3 defense really could be number 1, and that is the San Francisco 49ers at the Washington Commanders. San Francisco typically just kills the Commanders, and I think they're in a great spot. And after this past week, the Niners basically play one of the best offenses in Baltimore, now come to the Washington Commanders, one of the worst offenses in football. So the Niners are going to destroy them and get after the quarterback. I don't know who plays quarterback for the Commanders, whether it's Howell or Jacoby. I think it probably should be Jacoby Brissett, but either way, I'm not concerned. Start the Niners. They could easily be the number 1, like I said. My number 2 defense is going to be the Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots. Now, Buffalo's been a little bit of a letdown defense. I do think they're in a really good spot. They might deserve to be, number 3, number 4. But either way, I've got them at number 2. New England and Bailey Zappi, they've struggled. They come back and make it a game, but I don't think they're going to do it against the Buffalo Bills. This is a statement game for Buffalo. They've always lost to Buffalo through the last decade, but the past couple of years, Buffalo really puts it to New England. And I do think they will again today or this week. My number 1 defense is going to be the Cleveland Browns versus New York Jets. So hopefully you hung on to Cleveland this past week and still have them available to play. We know that Zach Wilson is out already, so Trevor Siemian will be at quarterback, and it's going to be a bloodbath. I really hope that Cleveland steps up and wins. They need to win, and Joe Flacco's been awesome for that team, so they're able to sustain drives and put the Jets in really tough spots. So I think that the Browns are in a great spot. So start the Browns. Hopefully they're a big 20-25 point performance. I need them this week to do that. My top 3 risky plays are going to be the Dallas Cowboys versus Detroit, the LA Rams at the New York Giants, and Baltimore versus Miami. So those are my top 3 risky plays. I'll go to exactly why right now. Dallas, tough offense against the Lions, but I think that the team and the elite defense is going to be enough to maybe pick off Jared Goff or sack him. The LA Rams, the Giants have been looking better as a team. The Rams look like a playoff team. I think they can get after whoever is at quarterback for the Giants, so I think the Rams are in a really good spot as well. And then my number 3 one, obviously, is going to be Baltimore versus Miami. 2 really good teams, 2 good offenses, 2 good defenses. You kind of have to hope for interceptions and pick sixes for this game because there's going to be a lot of points scored. So if you have Baltimore or Miami for that matter, I think you could play either one, but they're both a very risky play this week because a lot of points are going to be scored. All right, guys, let me know what I'm missing from my list, who I didn't mention that you're starting and playing, and if you've made to the finals, congrats and good luck. We will see you next time.